Hi, my name is Kara Young. I am first year connections coordinator at Wilmington College. I work in the housing office. This is actually my second time going to Washington, D.C. I think it's a wonderful trip. I highly encourage any staff, faculty, or student to go. There's lots of impactful museums and sites for everyone to see. The African American Museum is very inspiring. It's heavy, but there's so much history there that we don't really think of. The Holocaust Museum has so much history in it as well. Lots of information that previously I may not have known or you may not have known. And DC itself is a great city. My favorite part about going and what I like to tell everybody about is just learning about our past and things that we can do to make our future better and learn more about our history. Our history is very rich, but our history also has some dark parts of it, and I think that's super important for us to learn. So I highly encourage anybody to go. I personally can't wait to go again, and I can't wait to see all the new students, staff, and faculty who are going to go next year as well.
Hi, my name is Debbie. I work here at Wilmington College in the Student One Stop. I have had the privilege of going on 3 of the diversity inclusion trips with Chip and Company. Luckily, I've gone to 2 of them in Washington, D.C. I love these trips. Not only am I always learning something new, but the true joy is experiencing the trips through the lens of the students. Watching them learn about their own history or the history of their neighbor is truly inspiring. I also love the bonding and the sense of community that these trips bring. I highly recommend this experience to anyone else who's lucky enough to attend.
Hi, my name is Heather Johns. I'm Office Manager in Housing and Residence Life here on campus. I attended for the first time the trip to DC with Chip and the team, or as Chip also put on the trip, our new family. It's amazing how 3 days together can bond people into one unique experience. So we went to 4 different museums, go to the White House, the Capitol, Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, the World War II Memorial. It's just so much. We see it in history books and we hear about it, but to be there and see it live and in person, it's different when you're there and seeing it in person. Chip asked me last year to go, and I had just started working at the college. I'm like, I'll wait. He asked me again this year. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go. Could not have been more grateful for my decision. He put so much into planning this trip, and it's just an experience that I'll never forget and memories to last a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Jatasia Johns, Assistant to the Vice President for Student Affairs. The diversity trip to DC is always a blessing, as it is a time for faculty, staff, and students to self-reflect on the history and how it impacts us today. Going through the museums is one thing, but something that is truly inspirational and stood out to me is hearing and seeing the testimonies of students going through those same museums is something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. Diversity is one of Wilmington College's core values, and every day we pass by many faces, and although we may never be able to walk in their shoes, it is a step in the right direction in making an impact in today's world. And if Chip stops you in the middle of pile and asks you what you're doing on winter break, he's going to encourage you to go on this trip. And if you can't go, that's okay. He's very patient, but yet persistent. And as somebody who's been in your shoes, I highly encourage you to go and experience this trip firsthand, as it is truly life-changing.
So this was my 3rd time going on the DC trip, a cultural tour of museums, and it's a wonderful experience. Each time it's a different group of people, a different group of students, different group of faculty and staff that go with us. Some of the same members, some different members. It just makes it a nice balance of people. We always have a good time on this trip. Sometimes it'll be a little bit different collection of museums each trip. This time we went to the American History Museum, and some of us broke away and got to go see the Ford Theater and tour that historical site. What I've really appreciated about these trips is the chance to get to know my colleagues better, the chance to get to know students better. I spend most of my time in this office, and this is a chance to get out and see the students, their personalities, not just as lines in a spreadsheet. So absolutely love these trips, highly recommend them, and you can't beat the price either.
Hello guys, Matthew here. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience during the diversity trip that happened last December. So for me, it was really good because I get to understand more about America as a country, because when I came from Zimbabwe, I didn't know anything about America for sure. I only knew stuff from movies. So, I really wanted the history. We visited a couple museums, and my favorite, obviously, is the National African American Museum. It is my all-time favorite for sure. So the reason why it's my favorite, like I said, it gave me like the history about America.
Hi everyone, I'm very excited to be here to tell you my experience in Washington DC when I went to diversity trip. It was one of incredible experience I ever had in my life. Initially, of course, it was heavy because going to museums and looking things that we are kind of hard to accept was really the difficult part of it. So first of all, we went to Native American Museum, where I learned a lot about American history, how some people were undermined and taken their land. So it was kind of, not a bad experience, but a lot to learn at the same time, heavy to accept. When I went to African American Museum, it was also a different experience. Me understanding more about diversity in this world, not specific about that people, but how we are different and unique at the same time, which makes us more beautiful. So combining all or bring together all those things that I learned, that together we are more strong, together we have to accept the diversity in this world. And the more we accept each other, we are all humans. If we accept each other, we can make this world much far better, and we can make it a good place for everyone. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a good time.